Hello and welcome to the new video. Sorry for it being so late, but today I want to take a look at all of the new Mega Pokemon for Pokemon Go that are very likely coming very soon. We're going to have now Legends ZA officially released. We have basically all the the Mega Pokemon already in the game from the generations before. Now we have a ton of new Mega Pokemon coming up. This is your last warning. This is going to be with spoilers that if you haven't played the game yet fully as well, you most likely haven't seen all of those Pokemon. Those have been leaked ages ago. I wanted to wait still until we have this game out at least in public. So yeah, again, spoiler alert, there's going to be Pokemon maybe in here that you didn't know about that they're going to get a Mega Evolution. But today we're going to take a look at what they can do in Pokemon Go, what they can do in PvP, what can they do in PvE. And basically the stats and whatever I got from GoHub. I'm of course transparent with that. I looked a little bit into their recommendation about stuff as well. I looked a little bit into PvP. So let's take a look here, let's deep dive a little bit and let's rank all of the new Mega Pokemon because there are quite a bit of them, and let's move on with that. So that was your last one in there as well. Here's now all of the Mega Pokemon that have been released for the new game. Apparently there are more going to be coming as well towards the DLC. But we have to see about this one. Anyway, this is currently what we know. This is currently what is officially seen on the internet. And so let's gonna take a look a little bit at some of them. Starting off with Dragonite. Where would you think Dragonite going to be? Most likely S tier, right? It's a pseudo-legendary getting a new Mega form. Sadly, we are taking a look at Pokemon Go. We're not gonna take a look at the main series games. So stats can be a little bit weirdly distributed. And where Dragonite is gonna end up is actually B tier. Dragonite itself is an interesting Pokemon. This Pokemon is going to be a Dragon and Flying type Pokemon. The issue is we have a lot of Dragon and Flying type Mega Pokemon. And the thing is, Dragonite is basically worse than all of them. And so Dragonite is just not really worth it. Like if you can also run something like a Salamence, which in the Mega form, it's a shell form, which in the Mega form just has like 1000 more CP. A lot of the Pokemon based on what we see here as well, by the way, on GoHub, are getting hit by a 9% nerf, which I want to show here as well. I am not too familiar on how that is for the Mega Pokemon. They added on the entire time saying that this is always the case. So I think it's going to be always the case. And so with that, I don't think that Dragonite is going to have any play at all in the Go Battle League or in the other league. It's still an okay Pokemon itself though. Like the Pokemon itself isn't bad. They're just better alternatives. A tier would even put C tier, which is kind of sad to say, but it's not a good Pokemon. Next up is going to be Greninja. Greninja is going to be an interesting Pokemon, and Greninja is going to be an S tier Pokemon, which is kind of hilarious because Greninja is not really the Pokemon that you would have really expected here maybe on the list to be very good. But as a Mega, it only gets up to 4278. That is not great, but it is one of the best Water type. Actually, it is the best Water type Pokemon with a Mega Evolution. Not so much for, of course, PvE. Like it's also not going to be the best Pokemon there whatsoever as well. It has the same typing as the Gyarados, for example, but Gyarados has way more bulk, for example, as well. But the thing is, for PvE, the Greninja is going to be super good. It's going to be the best water type raid attacker. It's going to be super fast. It's going to be super strong. Greninja is going to be a Pokemon you want to have. Absolutely. Delphox, on the other hand, is not one of those Pokemon. Delphox is sadly going to be at the same tier as Dragonite because it's the same thing as Dragonite, basically. Delphox has the issue that other fire type Mega Evolutions just do the job better than it, and that is an issue. This could be fixed maybe with a few of moveset changes. Maybe this is something that can happen, by the way, for quite a few of the Mega Evolutions here that we're going to take a look at. So yeah, Delphox is going to be C tier. Afterwards, Chestnut, and Chestnut goes D tier. This is, by the way, something that you're going to see quite commonly here today. A lot of the Mega Pokemon, while Chestnut might be, look, it barely actually even gets above. It is what it is. It's just getting defense more. While a lot of the Mega Pokemon are kind of cool designs or whatever, and like nice new fresh Pokemon, actually a lot of them don't really have a lot of play, sadly. Next up, we're going to have here the the Feraligatr I have on my list. I have a list on my site, by the way, where I put notes down so I can talk about certain things. That's why I'm not going to go based on what you see down here. Feraligatr is going to be next on the list. Feraligatr is going to be a very cool Pokemon. I like this Pokemon a lot, actually. And it's going to be in the B tier. This Pokemon has a cool typing with Water and Dragon, which is kind of nice for Mega Evolution. Yeah, some of the Pokemon, by the way, changed their typing. One of this is going to be this Pokemon here. We're going to talk a little bit about some other ones as well. Water Dragon is kind of cool. In Pokemon Go, you just need a Dragon-type damage though on this Pokemon. You don't have Dragon-type moves on this Pokemon. And so this is going to be another video which I'm going to do very, very soon-ish, where I'm going to take a look at how to fix those Mega Evolutions by giving them moves that would help them, basically, to be better. And this would be, for example, one of them. You need the Dragon-type moves on this Pokemon in order to make this Pokemon good with like the Dragon typing on it. I do think that they're going to be in the next move update for Pokemon Go, mainly rebalanced towards those Pokemon that got new Megas in order to give them moves that are going to help them out in PvP and in PvE. We can still take a look here, by the way, at Feraligatr. Forgot about this. Feraligatr is going to have, of course, the Mega Form now. Yeah, Water Dragon, as you can see here, 4275 CP is alright. It's not the craziest. It's a good Pokemon, like has some solid attack, but just needs a little bit of a better move update there. Next up, we are going to have Emboar. Emboar is going to be interesting. Emboar is going to be a Pokemon that seems to be kind of cool, because look at this. Like, it kind of got buffed this season, kind of looks like a good Pokemon for sure. And it is actually more in the D tier than even, yeah, the Delphox as a fire starter. Delphox has more play than the Emboar. Emboar is just worse in both, like, fire types, if you want fire type Mega Evolution, as well as fighting type Mega Evolution. As you're gonna see as well, low kick fast move is kind of garbage. And here you have to go for like Focus Burst in order to have fighting type coverage, so that's already not great. And then you're going to have here fire as well, not the greatest, but also not a great CP stat even total there as well. So like, it is not a great Pokemon at all. It's not really a Pokemon that you really would like to have. And so again, another Pokemon that maybe is not as great. Next on, it's going to be Chandelure. Chandelure going to have crazy attack again, right? Yeah, it will. It has even more crazy attack than before. And with that, it's actually going to end up in the... I actually would put it somewhere into the B, between B and C tier. I feel like B tier, I guess, is maybe alright for it. Chandelure is a little bit higher because it has like higher attack, for example, than the Delphox. And it's just going to be a better fire type attacker. Ghost type attacker, Gengar's just better. But as you're going to see as well as the Mega, you're going to get up to 2195 CP. Not overpowered by any means. It's alright. It's cool. It can work out, but it's not top tier. It's more towards C than towards A here, by the way. Next up, we're going to have the Excadrill, which I will put actually into the A tier when I find it. It's here, the Excadrill. Going to put into the A tier. This doesn't mean that you actually really need this Pokemon. There are Pokemon that are better for both of the types as well. I still think it's going to be a good Pokemon to have, because this Pokemon is not far behind damage-wise compared to the other Pokemon that have like the ground typing, for example. The benefit here though of Excadrill is that you're going to have that steel typing, and this is basically what changes Pokemon. It has a way better defensive typing than a lot of them, which is kind of cool, and it's not a bad Pokemon at all. I would put it into the A tier. It's not a Pokemon that's like, yeah, you have to go for it straight away, but it's a good, cool Pokemon to have. Hawlucha is going to be next, and Hawlucha is going to be funny, because Hawlucha is going to be an S tier pick. Hawlucha is a Pokemon that you really want. It's a Pokemon that has coverage for both of the step typing, and Hawlucha is so good. As a Mega, you're going to be able to get up to 4049, but like, it has a crazy good attack stat. We have low kick as a fast move. The issue is now, you just would need again another move update though. I still want to put it into the S tier just in order to have like the flying press basically going to be kind of cool. It has great attack. But what you kind of need is a bit of an update towards the flying type side. I still think that Hawlucha is a Pokemon that's worth getting. Especially in the future, I do think it's going to be one of the best Pokemon you can run. I feel like maybe even A tier is more fairer in the current state though. Like, you need to have one more move update or whatever, and this Pokemon is going to be fantastic. But yeah, it's between A and S. It depends on really what you want to say. Next up, Malamar. I actually don't really need to show you anything yet. Lowest tier sadly possible. For PvE and PvP, Malamar doesn't make sense. Malamar doesn't get very high with what it currently has here. You know, Psywave or whatever. It only gets to 3500 CP as a Mega. Like, it's kind of like the B-trolls of this Mega update there. It's not having any play, which is kind of sad because they had so much hype around it. Next up, we're going to have here Barbaracle. Barbaracle is going to be a good Pokemon as well. Barbaracle is going to be an interesting Pokemon. Is it going to be a very strong Pokemon? Not really, but it's good. Still deserves B tier. This Pokemon would need just one fast move update again for the fast move of like Rock type. If they get Smackdown, it would be a top tier Pokemon like this. Yeah, the Barbarical is not that crazy. Barbarical as a Mega is gonna get up to 4,478. Has yeah. Again, a water type damage with water gun, which is kind of alright. You have like some kind of water type damage here as well with Razor Shell, but it's not that great. Like the thing that holds back this Pokemon is kind of mainly the yeah, it's called the moveset currently. Next up, we are going to have Clefable, which is actually in the beginning of the lead. This is going to be a Pokemon that is going to be interesting. I do think it's going to be an A tier. It's going to be a Pokemon that you kind of want to have for sure. Clefable is going to get the part flying typing. Clefable doesn't learn any flying type move though. And this makes it a bit awkward, but this Pokemon has still a lot of great coverage, and I think it's going to be a cool one. It would learn Duo Wing Beat in the main series games, which I think is one of the moves that I would love to see in this game here as well in Pokemon Go, but yeah, right now it's not going to be the craziest. Drampa is going to be next. Drampa is going to be a Pokemon that is going to have an interesting Mega Evolution here as well, but it's not going to be very good. This Pokemon is going to be D tier again as well. The issue is just as a Dragon type Pokemon, Drampa just doesn't have play compared to any of the other Dragon types. So it's just collecting. Like, it's not a good Pokemon. It's not going to allow you to beat like everything or whatever. But as we will see here, this is going to allow Drampa not to be that crazy. It's going to deserve the D ranking. Victreebel is going to be next. Victreebel is going to be more of a Pokemon that also doesn't have the greatest stats to begin with and kind of stays there. I'm going to put it into C tier. Victreebel has a bit of play as like especially a poison type attacker, but it's not a good Pokemon at all, sadly either. So yeah, it's, as you can see as well, it doesn't have the greatest CP, and with that it's not going to be the best Pokemon ever. So yeah, sorry, this is not a good Pokemon. Next up, we're going to have here the Scrafty. Scrafty is going to be interesting as well, but sadly the stats of Scrafty are just not able to compete with the rest. I actually don't know where my Scrafty is currently here. I don't see it. I think I don't have it in the list, which is kind of interesting. I definitely did try to download it. Anyways, Scrafty would have been in the list here as well, would have been most likely around the D or C tier again. Scrafty is just not a great Pokemon. It has good bulk, but it's just, even as a Mega here, as you can see, gets up to 4,186, but it's like not the craziest Pokemon at all. Has alright bulk, but there are just other Pokemon that are just better than it. I don't know why there's no picture of it. Actually, I'm missing quite a few of the pictures. Let me fix this real quick. Okay, moving on here, we're going to have here the Scrafty now on there as well. Scrafty is going to be, I would put into the C tier. It's not the best Pokemon at all, but it's a fun one. I still think it's going to be an interesting Pokemon here to have. And as you're going to see, we're going to have here next up, now also an interesting one. We're going to have here the Electros, a Pokemon that's going to be electric type. And with that electric typing, there are only two other electric type Mega type Pokemon there, which are going to be, of course, that Ampharos and of course that Manectric. And with those, they are not the craziest. Manectric as good as an attacker, but Electros could have some potential, right? Or not really. C tier is the maximum I can give it. C tier is absolutely the maximum I can give it. This Pokemon is not going to be really, really good. It is alright if it would get a Wild Charge, by the way. There are a lot of kind of Pokemon that would need like a move update in order to be good. But if you're going to take a look here at Electros as a Mega, we will see here again, it doesn't have a great stat. Like, generally, it's not going to be a great Pokemon at all. And so we are going to be able to see that it's just not a good Pokemon that you really want. Next up though, we're going to have Starmie, a meme, and that's where it is. It's not good Pokemon either. Like, and this is the thing as well, like most of those, this thing, I think just the old Mega Pokemon were so strong that now those Pokemon here are just not shining really well. Starmie is an interesting Pokemon here as well. With a Mega update, it's gonna not only grow legs, it also got a lot of attack, like physical attack in the main series games, which doesn't really translate well as well here. But it's not a good Pokemon, it doesn't do anything for you. It's really not good, it's just a dex fill. Pyroar. Pyroar is interesting. Pyroar has a great typing. This is basically why Pyroar is even here in talks. It's going to have a great timing with normal and fire, because you're going to have all of a sudden a Pokemon that's really good for like certain kind of matchups where you have like ghost types against you, and this gives it a little bit of a niche. It's an alright fire type attacker. It's not the best at all, but it's an alright one that you can run, and I feel like B tier is kind of what it deserves to be. DrGreenMustache is maximum C tier. DrGreenMustache is going to be a Pokemon that's going to have a lot of bulk though, which is kind of cool of course, but it doesn't help you, because what you want to have is kind of a Pokemon that would function well in either the Mega Master League, which with OCP you're not going to be able to do, or going to function well as like a right attacker, which you're also not going to be able to do with the attack there itself. The only thing which kind of says it is like as a bulky poison type attacker can be kind of cool against fairy type Pokemon and raids, as it can take some hits a little bit easier, but it is not the best Pokemon. Floette, on the other hand, though, is a Pokemon that can be quite interesting. Floette is an eternal Pokemon here, which actually I think I kind of missed. Yeah, this should be this one here, actually. We don't actually have the perfect moveset for that, so it's completely speculation for that. This is going to be the stats that this Pokemon would have, though, the Eternal Floette. So it would have at 4,452 CP. It has special form, like, generally already, like the Eternal one, and now has, like, a Mega towards it. We don't know the moveset yet, but based on the stats and based on what we know so far, I think it's going to be very likely an S-tier Pokemon. I wish I could say the same about the Scolipede. Yeah, Scolipede is going to be on the list here as well, which I actually forgot to write down towards the Floette. But Scolipede is going to be on the list here. It's alright. It's okay as a poison type attacker. It is worse than all the other bug type attackers, so it's C tier. That's kind of what I need to go for anyway. Now we're going to have next up as well the Froslass. Froslass is going to be a Pokemon that we don't even have here somehow. I thought I put it in, but apparently I missed it. And so Froslass is going to be actually an A tier Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that you really want to have. Maybe even S tier, like it is the best Mega Ice type attacker. And with that, it's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be better than a Bombasno, or I think there was another Ice type Mega that we had before. Froslass, Glady. Frost is going to be the best out of them all. Has the highest attack, has Avalanche plus Powder Snow, which is really good for PvE. Frost itself, of course, for PvP is not going to be very interesting with that. But it's a Mega that you kind of want to have. It's a Mega that's kind of good. It's a Mega that you want to have with Powder Snow, though. You don't want to run it as a Ghost type attacker. Gengar is the better Ghost type attacker. Getting, like, this one gets completely outsped by this one. Like, but this is going to be a very good Ice type attacker, and so keep it as that. Phalanx is going to be next, which is going to be a Pokemon that is going to go down to the D tier. I don't even want to talk about it. It gets up to 4,100 CP or something like this. It is just not good. It's only pure fighting. It has nothing really going for it. It's just fun. There are so many better fighting type Pokemon in the meta. I think it's currently on the level of a Terrakion, a little bit lower than a Terrakion, which doesn't even need to Mega Evolve. So, yeah, Phalanx is a bit of a mid Pokemon. I guess you could put into... It's between D and C, though. It's not the worst of the worst, but it's like also not the greatest. Next up, Meganium. And of course, it's like a bulky Pokemon you're usually really low behind, right? So it's going to be D tier, right? No. Meganium actually going to be an A tier pick. It's not going to be the best Pokemon ever, don't get me wrong. But it needs a little bit of a move update in order to have fairy type moves. But Meganium actually is a Mega, which you're going to see as well, is gaining a ton of attack. It's now going to be quite attack weighted. It's going to be interesting. And so I'm curious on how this is going to be for PvP, mostly not so much, but for raids, it would be a very interesting Pokemon. Next up, we're going to have here the Skarmory, which is going to be a Pokemon that I will put into the B tier because it actually gains a ton of attack. Like a ton of attack. The thing is, though, it needs a move update in Pokemon GO in order to really utilize this. You need Iron Head on this Pokemon as well in order to have good coverage for like the raids itself, but also like some, I don't know, better fast move, better charge move there in order to have like even play for PvP. This Pokemon itself, though, is kind of cool. It is a Pokemon that I like quite a bit in terms of the design as well. If we take a look at Skarmory, for example, we know, of course, that Skarmory generally is very bulky. But as a Mega, it actually gets so much attack, which is kind of cool. But the issue is, yeah, Flash Cannon, it needs Iron Head here in order to be a good Steel type attacker. And that is kind of it for this one. It's not the best Pokemon at all. It has a great typing, though, defensively, for sure. And with that, I do think it's going to be an interesting Pokemon to have. But let's move on to the final one, which is Zygarde. And this would have needed its own tier because Zygarde is, of course, one of the best, if not the best Mega Evolution ever. It is the best Mega Evolution ever. This is literally a power creep again. Zygarde already is very strong. Zygarde Mega is amazing. Getting up to 7,500 CP or something. It's just ridiculous. Like, this Pokemon is kind of a cheat code, and this is also going to be my tier list here today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Sorry again, the video is a little bit late, but I'm also enjoying the game currently a little bit, so yeah, hopefully you can do it as well. We'll maybe follow up with a video where I try to showcase some potential moveset update for those Pokemon that not only helps them with PvP, but also for the general PvE meta as well. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. So it's free, and I will see you then. Bye bye.